Warning, this video is not targeted to kids and may be inappropriate to younger audiences. Your discretion is advised. Hello, dudes and dudettes. It's your favorite reject gamer, Mr. 17 here, and I am back once again for another Batman Arkham City character trophies. Anywho, so starting off from where we left off last time, hopefully I can at least try to get more than 2 rows. We're starting off with the Riddler. Now, the Riddler being a maniac, a lunatic, someone who tries to challenge people's minds, which of course I find very interesting, is of course within Arkham City. Now, I believe, just from observation and including from looking from his clothes, last time we saw Riddler was, or quote-unquote saw, was back at Arkham Asylum when you collect every single Riddler trophy. I even showed this off. You are able to arrest the Riddler. And ever since then, he wanted revenge. So I believe he broke into Arkham City after months, probably, of researching everything there is to know. Now, the Riddler has a very unique suit compared to other criminals. Some criminals are... how would you put it? You know what? I'm not even gonna bother. The Riddler has some interesting boots, which is a common theme throughout this game. Some nice looking pants with a white shirt, dirtied white shirt. Keep in mind his traditional purple and Riddler icon tie, and his coat covered in question marks, including a little thing there. Folded up coat, doesn't make too much sense in my opinion, and gloves with his traditional Riddler thing. And of course you can see he's gone completely mad with a shade of purple on his glasses. You know what? Whatever. I have no clue anymore. Anywho, moving on. Alright, then moving on, we got Solomon Grundy. Oh boy, Solomon Grundy. Solomon Grundy, we saw Solomon Grundy. We saw him teased on a poster. He is referenced a few times afterwards. And we see him during the fight, or yeah, pretty much during the fight with Penguin. He summons Solomon Grundy back from the dead, and we gotta beat the absolute living crap out of him to the point to where we basically kill him. I want to say yes and no to that, because technically he was dead, and Batman doesn't kill, so I don't know. I have no clue. Anywho, Solomon Grundy is a giant, and a confusing one on top of that. It looks like he's been Frankenstein in a sense that he was stitched everywhere together. His clothes are beyond worn. They look pretty good, by the way. On top of that, he has rusted chains around his neck, around his wrists, which normally would be a concern, but he's dead, so it's not. He has white hair, glowing eyes, a decaying face, along with the rest of his body, and a poorly stitched up chest. And then again, the rest of him is poorly stitched up. But whatever. Let's stop looking at him at this rate. Two-Face. Now, Two-Face, that, for a second there, that actually looked pretty awesome, showing off him. Anywho, Two-Face, also known as Harvey Dent, was introduced in the first mission with Catwoman, at the very end when he pointed a gun to her, but then afterwards it was at the courthouse where she held her hostage, and then shown off towards the end of the game when Catwoman tried to receive her items. So yeah, he sticks with his two-face thing. The hair, I don't know if it's dyed or if it's just from the accident, but yeah. Anywho, other than that, he of course has two-face, so his coat follows along with that. In a sense that one side of his coat is completely clean and the other side of his coat is burnt to a crisp, which I am assuming that this is his actual coat during the incidents that it all happened, since you could see all of his markings and stuff, and it only would make sense. Yep, looks about right. However, the shoes look like they were tailored to fit the aesthetic. Of course, when it comes to this coat and including his story, we will of course be reading that when we get the chance to, at least. Other than that, though, we can observe, well, everything. Moving on. Hugo Strange. Oh boy, Hugo Strange. What have you not done and what is it you've done? Hugo Strange has been shown throughout the game, both in the beginning and at the end, and many times in between, I think. At least through the screens that are around. Anywho, he has a just your typical coats for a doctor or whatever. Arkham. He has the warden badge. He's bald with a beard. His glasses. Wait, are those glasses or are those shades? I can't tell. There, we'll just stick with glasses. Wait, does he have a mole? He has a mole. Multiple of them, actually. Some good-looking pants, I guess, and some nice-looking shoes, along with some gloves. Can we see? Batman. Okay. Anywho, moving on past that. I remember back in the Arkham Asylum bio that we read about Hugo Strange, he was buff. He was ridiculously buff. He was like lumberjack buff. And then here he's just a scrawny doctor. So, yeah, moving on. Talia al Ghul. Now, of course, Talia al Ghul is the daughter of Ra's al Ghul. She is shown just before we take the demon trials, then after we take the demon trials, and then at the end of the game when she is taken by Joker as bait and as a tracker so that she may have him killed or stopped or whatever. It's whatever. She's wearing high heels. She has leather pants, black leather pants, tights, whatever. I don't know. I would say nope. They're knee high. They're actually knee high. They're not below. They're not above. They're specifically knee high boots, high heel boots. Interesting jacket of some type with some type of brace on her forearms. An awesome sword, or katana sword, something. I don't know what you would call it. I know there's an actual name for it, so sorry for everyone who yells at me. And, so I was correct. There is something on her head, which is some type of thing. I would say bandana? No, not bandana. It's, whatever. It's something. And she also takes the time to put on lipstick, but you know what? Whatever. I think that's just more of a game thing. The game design. Anywho, moving on. Medical Protection Team. Who is this? Yes. Medical Protection Team. These are the guards who protect the medical staff that were within the church. Hey, there's my buddy. Aaron Cash. Or Officer Cash. These are the These are the officers that protect the medical staff within the church that appear again later on after we save them from the Riddler in Riddler's secret hideout. They basically have the same uniform. They have their jeans, uh, protected. They have knee pads. They got boots. They got their pouches. They got their bulletproof vest or bullet-resistant vest. Some type of padding on the shirt arms, I guess. Elbow pads, gloves. And other than that, it varies between each person. This guy's bald. Aaron, my boy Aaron, has a shaved head, and you have braids, I think. But yeah, it mostly stays the same. I think now we're starting to get into the people who. Yep, I think that's what's gonna be like now. It's gonna be this for a little bit. We got the medical staff, which is shown within the church and at Riddler's hideout. Hold on, I'm trying to find like a good angle. Oh, that's as high as I can go? Really? Alright, whatever. But they stick usually the same. It looks like they got some type of vest and some green jumpsuit with some yellow stripes all around, indicating that they are obviously medical staff. Each one varies because, well, each person varies between each other, so yeah. Political prisoners now, or political prisoner. These guys all look the same for some reason. I don't know why. They're all male and they all wear the exact same thing. Basically, they are the people that I saved during the Acts of Violence side mission. They basically have their coat along with a scarf, I think another, or sweater, jacket, whatever, underneath that, some pants, and some actual nice looking shoes. Well, they are political prisoners, of course they would wear something like that. And they all look the same, which is something really stupid. But you know what, whatever, they had too many people they had to design, whatever. Oh, no, we're not going back up. Kidnapped doctor. Ah, yes, the intern. This was the intern who was. This was the intern that was kidnapped. The first kidnapped or the second kidnapped doctor, and she was not supposed to go into Arkham Asylum whatsoever. She looks more like a nurse, to be honest. Well, she has the traditional nurse outfit that looks more like something from the, was it the 80s? 70s? I can't remember. Even with the hats as well. She has a watch on, which I never noticed. Earrings. She's kept her hair pretty nicely welled. And her footwear is of course dirty, along with her bits of her leg and her outfit, so yeah. Understandable. Moving on. Undercover cops. Ah, yes, these guys. We are introduced to these guys when we save one of them during the break-in at the museum. We actually save other ones. I think we save a total of 6, 7 of them. And all of them usually stick with the same appearance. They have their orange jumpsuit with their top part of it usually taken off and wrapped around their waist, some type of footwear, I think mostly boots, yep, again everyone with their boots, and some type of muscle shirt that's gray, either from sweat or just because it's gray, and they have painted all over it called Pig. And of course each of them have a different appearance. This guy has scars, this guy has, I think those are bruises from being punched several times, and shaved head in a prison way, and this guy has a broken nose. Moving on. No, excuse me. I don't know where that came from. Jack Ryder. Now, we see Jack Ryder twice in the game. Once in the very beginning, when we're being escorted. Basically, he kind of taunts us saying how am I going to trust a guy who's never been in a fight before? Of course, we show him wrong. And then, of course, we save Jack Ryder during the Shot in the Dark side mission. Uh, he didn't look like this though. He didn't have like a nice looking suit on or a reporter mic. So that's interesting to say none the least. Of course, he still has his hair and he has his glasses. Could have sworn at one point he looked like a bum. But whatever. Moving on past that. Vicky Vale. We see Vicky Vale once throughout the game. That was after we exit the GCPD building. After we had spoken to Mr. Freeze when the cure was stolen from us. Basically after the epic fight that we had that took me forever. Anywho. And Vicky Vale's helicopter was shot down. Well, we find her and we save her. She has her coat on, some gloves, which understandable because she even has a turtleneck sweater underneath that because it's winter. It's winter, but exposed legs to some degree. I mean, like, come on. Why bother wearing the rest if you're gonna have your legs exposed? Knee, below the knee-ish, high heel boots, and yeah, just herself, and that's it. I'm done. I mean, what else am I supposed to commentate? Her buttons, her belt, her whatever. And now time for the Batwing, which is shown a few times throughout the game. Mostly to deliver the drop-offs, such as the bat suit, and I think that's it. I think so. Well, this is the Batwing. So yeah, it looks really awesome, to be honest. And the propellers make quite a lot of sense. Well, anywho, moving on past that. Mayor Quincy Sharp. Now, we see Mayor Sharp only one time throughout the game, and that is... trying to remember. It's such an awkward scene of where I see it, because I have a hard time trying to remember it. But basically, we save him from some goons trying to attack him after he was thrown in here, and he admits to everything and telling the truth about stuff and yada yada yada, whatever at this rate. And of course, last time we saw him was in Arkham Asylum. He was the warden there, and we learned that he is some type of delusional, schizophrenic person who took on the persona of Amadeus Arkham. There we go. He has his mayor uniform, including his warden uniform that he had, including his cane, which at one point was important for some reason. He's bruised up pretty badly, he's dirtied up, and his glasses are broken and crooked. He has white hair, and he's partially bald on the top. Moving on. Joker thugs. Now, these guys are, of course, found wherever Joker decided to throw his little territory is. Mostly in the industrial district. They come in a few different ways. They have the traditional mask, indicating that they're part of Joker. One of them just has a sweater on without the sleeves, which doesn't make sense. And of course, the pants stay the same for both these two. Actually, no, just these two. This guy just has this top and bandaged up forearm and wrist and hand, whatever. I don't know. Bald as well. I think that every single prisoner is bald for some reason. And then the padded up guard outfit, which looks like a nutcracker. And I have to admit, it's a little interesting with how they did this. Just questioning where the heck they got these. That must be super uncomfortable to wear, by the way. Moving on past that. We now have Penguin Thugs, which is found mostly within Penguin's territory. Now, of course, since he is, well, Penguin, he is, of course, a rich mob boss, he can afford the actual good things, such as boots, pants, actual protective gear, such as this guy here. I mean, look at that. He has an actual vest, an actual helmet. These guys have coats, face masks, gloves. See, these guys actually have the actual stuff. The only thing that actually looks a little, you know, like a criminal wise, would be, of course, this nails and a bat thing. Oh, you can also see the heart monitor. Next up, we got Two-Face's thugs, which of course can be found within Two-Face's territory. They stick with the Two-Face attire. They all look like the Arkham. Yep, right there. Arkham. Oh, they're specifically the Arkham City uniforms, prisoner uniforms. They even have the brace, the ankle brace, belts as well. Except they're, of course, changed differently to resemble more of Two-Face. And, yeah, they all have just masks with one side severely messed up. Moving on. The Lieutenants. I think that's what it's called. Ah, yes. The two brothers. The conjoined twins. Mr. Hammer and... I can't remember the other guy's name. But yes. These guys are interesting. They are, for one thing, they're giants. They are buffed up insanely. They are shirtless completely. They both have different pants attire. Of course, Penguin. He has the markings for Penguin on his chest, alongside with pants that match more with Penguin. With Joker, it's the prisoner attire, along with some tattoos. One of them looks like the USSR or Russia. They even have the accent, along with paint. Those are not actual tattoos; those are paint, all on his arm and his face. What's up with that eye, though? I question where he got that weapon, though. Like, yo. And their footwear is the same for some reason. Their tattoos, I'm assuming, should technically keep up with similarity, but I'm gonna say no. They don't. And to pull off this whole thing, the separating of conjoined twins is absolutely crazy. But hey, they were able to make it work because they had enough organs. Anywho, moving on. We got the behaviorally modified patients? Inmates, I mean. Wait, these guys that were shown in Arkham City? Well, hooray for that. I actually do not remember seeing these guys at all in Arkham City. Arkham Asylum, yes. Arkham City, no. Now, I understand the strain jackets, though, or restraint jackets. Those things, understandable. This poor guy's face is not understandable. Okay, yeah, you know what? The covering of the mouth, understandable, to avoid anyone biting. The face gate, not understandable. But you know what? Whatever. Moving on past that. Those guys, I don't think I've ever seen them anywhere. Assassins. These... Wait, is this one the one? Or... I don't know. This, of course, is one of the assassins that we come across. From what it looks like, they have impressive gear. Looks like they're may be protective across the chest. They have brace along with throwing knives, which of course understandable. Some type of face guard along with well, that piece there on the back of the hair, which looks absolutely amazing, not gonna lie. Protective footwear. That of course allow them to move around easily, quickly, and silently. And the pants, well, I can't say too much. Hold on. That's an interesting belt buckle. And yeah, moving on past that. The Tiger Thugs, or Tiger Thugs, Tiger Guards. These guys can be found in mostly areas where the Tiger Guards would be found, which is mostly just inside Wonder Tower. And during the beginning of the game, where we are being escorted across into Arkham City. Other than that, though, there's really not much to say. They, of course, are going to be well guarded in some degree, for some reason. They have these caps. For some reason, the face masks, I understand. The uniforms, I understand. The hats, not so much. They all have the same type of footwear. Well, except for the padded guys, I'll get to those. Same footwear, pants, same. Uniforms, mostly the same. They have the letter T for tiger, of course, and all that. But when it comes to the padded guys, they of course have knee pads, elbow pads. They have guarded boots, a vest to protect them. I think they got. They all have gloves. I think they're all the same, and I think mostly a padded uniform, jacket of some type. And of course, they're highly indicated with the obvious red. Moving on. Ooh, the Penguin Titan Thug. We only ever come across this guy once, I believe. I know we come across 2 Titans in the whole game, but a Penguin Thug specifically, I think we only ever come across once. If not, it's both times, because I think Joker may have stolen him. I don't know. But basically, specifically, the Penguin Titan Thug, the one that I can confirm specifically, is during the break-in of the museum where Penguin releases his Titan Thug because, well, we beat up his army. And it was a different mechanic of trying to beat him up. Of course, this guy, I don't think he lived for very long, only because the deformities that this guy has would indicate that he is not the perfect specimen for Titan. Moving on. As I said, I was correct. Joker did not steal him. It's a completely different person. Holy crap! So this is the Joker Titan Thug. Some similarities, except he is not deformed as Penguin, because Joker, of course, knows how Titan works. So yeah, this guy, he's the correct specimen. From obvious clothes, you can see there is some severe tearing. He has orange dyed hair with a shaved top and painted face. This is probably before the transformation of everything. And his clothes, well, yeah, they match up with how they would have torn up, including the spine. However, the bone stuff and cancerous growth and stuff and the bow tie on nothing. Yeah, stuff. Moving on. We now have Joker Penguin Thugs. I think this was during that one small little short period to where we were in the train tunnels, I believe, and Joker was trying to find a way into Penguin's territory. The thugs there found Penguin Thugs and they basically tried to convert them, and this was the case. Some of them did convert, being that they still carried their penguin uniforms, but they just covered them up with some Joker stuff. Anyway, moving on. I can't really commentate on that part. And I have gone through 2 rows already, and I still have time to continue onward, so let's do this. This one is the Two-Face Penguin Thugs, which of course, I swear, this Penguin got super unlucky with his thugs because ever since he got beat up and then he was thrown inside a cage, all of his thugs said, you know what, screw it, we're no longer part of Penguin. So some of the Penguin thugs, of course, joined what's it called? Two-Face's side, and by doing so, they burned half their clothes. That's really all I can say. Moving on. And the Joker... Wait, Joker Outcast? These guys, I want to say... These guys are the wannabe Joker thugs, or they are the last remaining thugs left after Joker died. I think. Nah, I think they're just the Joker thug wannabes. Which is fully understandable. Now, that is all of the main story characters. Finally, that took me quite a while. Next up, all the way up to this character specifically, is just this... I forgot to silence my phone again. It's just the skins that I can wear during the missions, the games, or something, whatever. So yeah, we'll start off with animated Batman. So yeah, this is from the animated series. And you can clearly see the thing. Yeah, I don't know what to say. He's kind of pointy. He's very smooth, textureless to some degree, other than the fact that he has a pattern, but you know, from afar you can't really see it. And yeah, I really do like the design, to be honest, but that's because I really like the animated series. Moving on. The 1970s Batsuit. This is, of course, from the 1970s show of Batman, the more comedic Batman, the one not so serious. This one, well, the cape looks very, very, very interesting. Everything else, they kind of try to take their best with how the animated series, including the comics, look. So that's why some of the design will somewhat look similar, but that's really about it, and I can't really say much about it. However, what I will say is that they are missing a few details, and that is the fact that Batman did not have abs or muscles from that show. So moving on. Year 1 Batman. Now this one looks incredible, I'm not gonna lie. It's a drastic change compared to some of the bat suits. For one thing, those spikes, I can't remember what they're called, are shorter. You can tell from the boots, they are also a different type of shape, to some degree. Of course, the muscles have decreased kind of a little bit. The ears shrunk. Eyes are white and stuff, and the cape, well, the cape is just something else entirely different. Moving on past that, we got Earth 1 Batman. Now, this one, oh boy. So, the boots kind of stay the same here. Instead, this time he doesn't have the wrestler underwear, and it's a complete, one-piece suit that looks like it's all padded and leather and stuff with the gauntlet pieces and gloves. His ears look a little bit taller than the previous one that we just went over. The face hole where his mouth is looks a little bit of a different shape, maybe even smaller. And of course this chest piece here with the bat symbol looks to be more heavy more like a metal type. And of course his cape. Other than that, I can't really say much. Then we got the worst bat suit that I do not like. Mostly because look at that face. God, that is a thing of nightmares. Looks like he has a bigger forehead for some reason. It looks like he has more weight to him. He looks more buffier on the arms. And he has thicker thighs. The boots look like plain old boots. His gauntlets are different. The utility belt is interesting, though, I will admit. Just sadly it doesn't have the bat symbol on it. The bat symbol, speaking of which, is different on his chest. His suit looks a little different, and then the cape. I can't really say a whole lot about this. And then I think after this it's Batman Beyond. Now, of course, I've mentioned this suit. I've worn this suit before. This is, of course, the Batman Beyond. I don't know really what much to say. Of course, there are some very obvious differences. One, the cape got rid of the cape. The ear is actually longer, but of course I can't go up for some reason anymore. The utility belt is installed into the bat suit itself. The muscles, on the other hand, you know what? Yeah, that can be passable. Boots, the whole thing's basically a one piece. And the face, well, yeah, it went over the whole face. With the mask, at least. The mask went over the whole face, so that's interesting. I always wonder how in the world they ever got out of this bat suit. The gauntlets spikes have changed, of course, drastically from the last curved 3-piece to the 2-piece crazy curved. So yeah, and the bat suit symbol changed quite a bit. Moving on. We next have the Sinestro Corpse Batsuit, which of course I've mentioned is in fact the Yellow Lantern Batsuit. Now the cape doesn't really get touched with the suit, but the suit itself changes drastically. They go back to how the boots look. They don't have the little thing, the wrestler underwear. The utility belt is replaced with this awesome looking piece on his hips. Of course, he has the Yellow Lantern symbol on his chest, alongside with the Yellow Lantern design. Gauntlets are changed as well, along with some extra bits here and there. He has his Yellow Lantern ring, and his face, well, doesn't change too much. Yeah, can't really say much. Either ways, though, I do like the suit. And next up, we have Animated Catwoman. I have shown this suit before. It's from the same series as the animated Batman, the Arkham series. The animated series, she of course has a utility belt, unlike the Catwoman that is Arkham City. Her boots are different. The thing mostly looks like a one piece, but kinda isn't. Gloves and all. But since it was of course an animated series, it's not gonna have as much texture or detail as, well, the Arkham series. So yeah, can't really say too much. Moving on past that. Next up, we have the Long Halloween Catwoman. Now, I have never shown off this skin, mostly because I can't play in this skin, in the sense of, well, accessing it very easily. I have to go through the Catwoman story missions in order to do this one. This one's a little weird. It kind of is a little revealing to some degree. Boots are incredibly long, gloves are long as well. And the mask itself is a little interesting, mostly because of the ears. But yeah, as for where the suit is, from, I can't say. I know, I remember where it is from, but I don't remember the name of it. So yeah. Don't kill me. Moving on past that. We have animated Robin. This is, of course, Robin from the animated series, and as you can clearly see, this is one of the more traditional versions of Robin, with the red, green, and yellow, along with the cape and the boots, and of course his nice-looking, awesome hair. I can't really say too much other than that, so yeah. Next up we have Red Robin, which is a different iteration of Robin. I think this is, if I remember correctly, let's see, there is Dick Grayson, which becomes Nightwing, then there is Tim Drake, which I think he died by Joker? Oh crap, I can't remember. There's too many Robins. Wait, no. I think... Okay, well, whatever. This is one iteration of Robin. That's all I can really say as of this moment. And, well, basically this type of Robin is called the Red Robin, and the history behind it, I can't really say for certain. It's a little bit everywhere. Anywho, he kind of goes for that kind of look-alike of Batman, except he doesn't have this little end spikes on the cape. It's just smooth, and he doesn't have the ears. He has these interesting things that look like bullets, loop things across his chest, and yeah, that's really all I can say. Moving on. Next up we have Nightwing, which is a character we do not see at all in the Arkham City game. This is just an add-on character because of the challenges. Which, now that I think about it, I think I could be wrong on that bit. Well, either ways, the Riddler challenges. This is Nightwing. I like his suit. I'm not gonna lie, I like his suit. It looks pretty cool. The only thing I have the big issue is really his face. I don't know why. His face just doesn't seem to fit with the suit. The hair looks great. The mask looks great. The face, I don't know. Something about his face just doesn't fit. That's all I really have the only complaints about. Other than that, though, this suit looks pretty cool. Moving on. Next up we have Animated Nightwing. This is, of course, from the animated series, and this is just his appearance. It's less detailed, and it's mostly a one piece with his symbol, and his hair looking absolutely fabulous, and, of course, his face. So, yeah, that's about it. And, sadly, we have these ones. These three specifically that I cannot go over as of this moment. However, I will be able to go over them fairly soon, hopefully. But what I can do is go over the Batman, another bat suit, really. This is from the Batman 1989 film, I believe. And yeah, they do a pretty good job as to replicating the thing. They got of course, they got the cape, they got the boots, they got the gauntlet, they got the piece, they got everything. And of course, the chest piece is more popped out, which has always been an interesting thing when you actually start looking at it. And then they actually have more abs on this thing, instead of just padded abs. Anywho, moving on. But yeah, that is 64 out of 67 of the character trophies. I will not be able to go over the final 3 until soon within the future. And my god, this I was able to do more, and without running out of time, and of course without absolutely destroying my voice, so hooray for that. So, with that done and out of the way, I say thank you everyone for joining me on this character trophies. Next up, in the future, we still got a few more bits to go, which is the concept art, the storylines, and the character bios. So, look forward to listening to my voice quite a bit in the near future. So, yeah. Goodbye.